Hi, I'm Joe from School of Rock North Buffalo. When we're not making musicians, we're also fixing gear. So if you have a guitar or bass in need of love, if you need new strings, please bring it in. We'll be more than happy to help you. So not only do we do instruction and performance-based music, we also fix gear. So please bring it down to 9310 Trents Road, East Amherst, or you can give me a call at 716-317-7625. Again, School of Rock North Buffalo. We make musicians and we fix your gear.
On this episode, Nina D. from the Femmes of Rock.
All right, today's guest is a classically trained violinist, bass player, writer, arranger, and vocalist, most well known for her performance on the electric rock violin for the Femmes of Rock. Let's welcome back Nina D. Nina, how are you?
Good. How are you? It's good to see you again.
Yeah, when we last spoke, I believe your video playing Van Halen's Eruption had just went viral. Catch us up on what's been happening with you.
That's right. And since then, I believe on all platforms, it's been viewed close to 30 million times at this point. So it's quite viral. It's gotten some news coverage from around the world, all the way to Asia, to Yahoo News, to MSN, to the Van Halen news desk. So it's been really nice to have that kind of feedback. Not many violinists are doing the tapping thing on violin. So it took me a really long time to learn, kind of had to create a new technique to do it and an effects chain that worked. And now everyone can come see it live in our Femmes of Rock show.
Yeah, just a great show. You guys put on an amazing show, bringing iconic rock music with your live violins. Really, you guys are really taking things to the next level, How's the show developed over time, would you say?
Well, I would say some of the biggest things that have changed from the beginning of the show, which I believe maybe 2016, 2017 was kind of when we started. And I would say we are now singing more in the show than we used to. It used to be mostly all instrumental, the show. And now we have kind of said, all right, what can we do to make it a little more interesting, to shake things up a bit? So, of course, we're doing the rocking violin solos and everything like that, but we're also singing in a lot of the medleys in our show as well. And every time I kind of learn a new technique or create a new cool sound on my effects board, or a new really amazing solo, I try and work it into the show somehow. So we just debuted a new AC/DC medley recently. I learned a couple Angus solos, and we sing in that as well. Like I said, I'm doing Eruption in the show now. That used to be just a guitar player feature, and now we've been doing it as a duet. Sometimes I do it solo, but it's a lot different than it used to be.
Very cool. So you're the founder and creator of the Femmes of Rock. How did you find these other amazing ladies you have with you here? It's just outstanding.
Well, I would say mostly on the gig scene in Las Vegas. There's a really great live music scene in Las Vegas, and all of us had performed together as backing violinists in shows that were on the Strip. I've been in Wayne Newton's show. I've been in Tony Braxton's show. When the Billboard Music Awards or the Country Music Awards come, we play in the orchestra sections for that. So we all kind of met gigging around the Las Vegas Strip. Some of them went to I got my master's degree at UNLV. I got my undergraduate at UB in Buffalo, but my master's I got here, and some of them were students with me, so we knew each other at college. But I would say mostly just gigging around town with the various shows and opportunities that present themselves living in Las Vegas.
Okay, so yeah, you just guys met up with that. Do you want to give us a little background on any of the ladies you have here? I think the first one you have is Christina Reigert. She's on the electric 5-string violin.
Right. Christina has been with me in performing with my group since she was 16 years old. She started subbing in with us. She was still in high school, actually. And so as soon as she's old enough to start playing in casinos and things like that, of course, we recruited her. But we're really happy to have her with us after all these years. The other violinist that will be with us for the Riviera show is Ellie, who's originally from the Rochester area. So she's semi-local. She grew up kind of in the Finger Lakes region. She's also a Bills fan, and she knows what Jenny Cream Ale is. So,
not a lot of people remember that.
Yeah, right. And our cellist, Sarah, she's originally from the Chicago area, but she recently performed with Aerosmith at their residency here in Las Vegas. So she was in the show with them every single night, and she stands up and she rocks out on the electric cello, playing solos and things like that. And of course, our backing band. We have a local guitarist actually playing with us in our show, Jason Neubauer, and he it's funny because I didn't know of him because we're both from the Niagara County region. Like I'm from there. He lives there still, but I didn't know about him from that. I had seen some of his guitar videos on Instagram, and my husband had sent me a few of them, and I'm like, oh my God, this is like one of the best guitar players I've ever seen in my life. So naturally, when I realized he was hometown local talent, we contacted him. He's done a few shows with us in the past. He seriously is just a absolutely phenomenal guitar player. Even if forget about us, come to the show to watch him play guitar. It's worth it for sure. So we have local Jason Neubauer on the show. And let's see. Our drummer Todd Waitzig for this run, he's from Blue Man Group Las Vegas, so he plays in the residency here, and he will be with us for our Riviera date on June 14th. And let's see. And our bass player is originally from the Baltimore area, but he also lives here in Las Vegas, and we met him doing shows locally in Las Vegas as well.
Excellent, excellent. And you just launched a new site yourself. I just saw it just came up. You want to tell the folks a little bit about that?
That's right. So I spent most of my professional life focusing on putting my bands together, the Femmes of Rock touring show, the Bella Electric Strings corporate string band that I have. I write all the arrangements. I produce all of the shows, deal with all of the tour dates. Until recently, I booked and managed everything myself. Now we're with Paladin Artists. But it was it was a lot. It took up most of my time, and I never really focused on my own stuff. Then during COVID, when we couldn't tour and we couldn't really do anything else, I started filming videos of myself playing the famous guitar solos that we play in the show on electric violin, putting them on social media. And as you know, like Eruption and many of the other ones have gone viral. So
Yeah, just blowing up like crazy.
that kind of newfound solo career that was established during the pandemic when we couldn't leave the house. And of course, it's helped the Femmes of Rock have more notoriety and success in the touring world, but it's also kind of helped me to get some encouragement from fans. Like, nobody wants to put the time and money and effort into recording original music when 8 people are going to hear it, kind of. So I was kind of waiting to build a following with all of the covers that I was doing before I was ready to put out any original music. So now I'm at a pretty good place with the social media followers, and I think it's the right time. So I launched a solo website. I've got solo merch, and I'm going to be working on my very first original album in the upcoming months. And so I'm very excited to get to work on that. We also are going to be we actually started working on a brand new Femmes of Rock album as well. It's going to be a really special one, themed to a one specific band that we're going to do a dedication to with our rock string arrangements. So we're very excited about that as well.
Yeah, so much stuff you got going on. You got your solo stuff going on, new stuff coming from Femmes of Rock. And I don't think people maybe aren't familiar with Bell Electric Strings everywhere. So that's more of a corporate thing. Tell us a little bit about that for anybody that's looking for a corporate event. This would be for it, right?
Right. So basically, I had started with Bella Electric Strings. I put together an all-female electric string quartet, and we had backing tracks created for the group. So there's not like a drummer, and it's not a huge band setup. It's very modular. Like, people could book a solo violinist to backing tracks. They could book 3. They could book 4. They could book an ensemble. We've been hired as a backing string orchestra for other shows in Las Vegas. But basically, it's modular corporate entertainment. We do weddings, private events, corporate events. There's a lot of that in Las Vegas. It's not geared to be a ticketed stage show. But one time on one of the corporate events, someone approached me and said, I run a theater. I think it was in New Mexico. And they said, I really love what you're doing with these rock solos on violin. Do you have a show I could sell? Could we put it on sale and do ticketed show? So I said, sure. And then I had like a year lead time to kind of write the show that became the Femmes of Rock show. So the only reason we really have a production show that tours is because someone came up to me and asked me to have one. And I was like, okay. I'll say yes and figure it out later. And so we
Right.
changed, obviously, instead of just, you can't just go to a ticketed stage show, like a production show where people are buying a ticket and just play a bunch of songs. There's got to be other elements to the show. So what we did was we kind of took some of our Bella Strings arrangements of some of the rock music. I put them together into medleys, did specialized arrangement. We had video content created that would sync to the screen behind the music when we played. And of course, I had to speak to them. Whereas on corporate events, you're oftentimes kind of like sonic wallpaper. They want you to play during a dinner off to the background to the side. So that was a whole nother new element, was making the show flow in a way that keeps people's interest, and to be able to talk and interact with them and have some production elements like video worked in and things like that. So that's the difference between the Bella Strings and the Femmes of Rock. When people are looking for string entertainment, if they want something private that nobody's going to buy a ticket to, it's like they're hosting a private party. Usually we do something with Bella Strings, whether it's a soloist, a duo, a trio, a quartet. When somebody says, I want the Femmes of Rock and I want to sell tickets to it, I'm a venue, then I say, yeah, this is the show. That's what we're going to do for that. So it's kind of the difference between the big touring show and then the we can meet any budget kind of corporate entertainment. That's the difference.
Right, more of a private event type of thing.
Right,
Very,
right.
very, yeah, very cool. You guys got so much stuff going on, and we want to talk about. You got a lot of dates coming up too, so we want to talk a little bit about those. I think you're flying out. Looks like you need to be in Illinois May 9th here. You guys are playing with Vixen, right?
Yeah, we're flying out tomorrow actually. I think we've sold out the Vixen in McHenry. So we've been there for a few years now. That's our only May date, but then June gets crazy. We're going June 6th to Atlantic City. We're playing the Borgata, then June 7th in Easton, PA. Then we hit the kind of upstate and western New York areas. We're going to go June 11th to Syracuse. We're playing Sharkies. June 12th, Elmira at the Lecom Event Center. And then finally, of course, near my hometown, June 14th at the Riviera Theater in North Tonawanda. And I think we're getting close to selling that out now. So it's going to be a great show. We always go all out for that show because it's my hometown crowd. Half the people I'm related to, or they used to babysit me or something like that. So it's always fun to go back and play the Riviera Theater.
Yeah, it's just a great place, and they've done so many upgrades there now that West Her is a part of it now. It's West Her Riviera, and they just have expanded it so much, and they have such a great outdoor area now, and they got just a larger space for merch and everything. They just done a wonderful job over there.
We haven't been there since they've remodeled everything, so we're looking forward to seeing it.
Oh, you're gonna like it. I was just there a couple weeks ago for LA Guns. Yeah, it was really really nice.
And the
So,
best part about it is before the show, one of the times that we played there, my grandmother showed up with a big sheet of baked ziti for the band, like
oh,
homemade house, because she lives like 15 minutes away. So that's I always look forward to those kind of things for the hometown crowd.
oh, definitely, definitely. Homemade food, you can't go wrong with that for sure in Buffalo. And then it looks like you head back. It looks like July 26th, you're heading back to Vegas there.
Yes, we've been doing about 4 shows a year in Las Vegas, so we have 2 shows on July 26th. I think one of them is close to selling out, and the other one's getting low tickets already. So, I kind of have two hometowns, Buffalo and Las Vegas. I live in Las Vegas now. I've been here for a while, but I grew up and went to college in the Buffalo area, so both feel like hometown gigs for me.
Yeah. And then after that, looks like you hit up St. Louis on August 8th, River City Casino
That's
and
right.
that gig. And then looks like you're hitting back Vegas September 12th, back to Las Vegas. You just got a ton of dates here. I mean, I could read these for a little while. I think people can just probably go to your website and check these out. Femsofrock.com, right?
That's right. Or ninadgregorio.com. Either website will have the tour dates. The September 12th Vegas show is actually something a little different. It's an 80s symphonic rock show. So my husband is a singer and also a show producer, and it's going to be all 80s kind of new wave and pop music with a symphony orchestra that I helped write all of the charts for and put the string section together for. The Femmes of Rock members will be in the orchestra for this show, but the concept of the show is symphonic 80s music, actually. So that's a really fun show.
Very, very cool. So definitely, folks, check those tour dates out and check that out. And we hope you'll keep us up to date with what's going on with your new music You said you're just starting out on that, and you're doing a Femmes of Rock project also. When do you think maybe ballpark time frame for any of those?
I'm kind of putting a 6 month deadline on it. I'm hoping that within the next 6 months, I could have both my solo original album finished and the next Femmes of Rock um, album finished as well. So everyone can look for some new stuff in our merch line starting, in 2026.
Very, very cool. All right, all right. So, folks, yeah, check all that out. Definitely check the tour dates on Femmes of Rock or Nina D site. All right, all the best of luck to you on the tour. Very cool. So that wraps up this episode of Talk About Rock. Thank you to my guests today, Nina D, and shout out to our sponsors, School of Rock North Buffalo and Unleash Music. And to everyone out there, we hope you're keeping the torch alive and supporting live music wherever you are. Nina, again, thank you.
Thank you so much. Hopefully, we'll see you soon.